Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a letter logo using the font tool and the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator. Let's get started. Okay, the way we're going to start here is we're going to take our type tool and click on the canvas and increase the size of our font to about 300. We're going to change it to Futura Bold. We want a big bold font for this, and we're going to use the letter capital W. I'm going to bring that down to like the center of our canvas. And we're going to go up to type and create outlines. Once we have that, we can increase the size a bit more. And we're going to take our pen tool and make sure our fill is set to white. Make sure your letter is deselected so you do not turn it white. And we're going to hold shift, click on the bottom left anchor of our W, and make a big curve ending about right here. And make sure it curves in a good arc going evenly across the letter. About right there is good. I'm going to hit escape to deselect. I'm going to hold shift and click on the end of our point that we just made. And bring the ending point somewhere parallel with the bottom of our W. So around right here is good. Make sure it's lined up properly. And make a arc about the same as the last one you made. And we want a good like flying point going across. You can deselect that, and once that's done, you can click on this white point that we made and hit Ctrl 2 to lock it in place. Now you can change your fill to black on your pen tool, and we're going to go from the bottom of our W here, hit shift, click on it. Let's bring the curve up to about right here at the end of our W. Hold left click and drag it somewhere above where our white ends right here. Make sure there's a little bit of space there, because if we try to line it up with the W here, we're going to have a bunch of really tiny shapes when we go to get rid of the white in the middle to leave the empty space, and it'll be really hard to deal with. I'm going to go from the end of our point we just made and make a similar curve the same way we made our white one, about right here. And we're going to do the same thing for the top. I'm going to hit Ctrl Y to make all of our lines show up. And seeing as how this is where like the end of our white stroke is, we're going to start about right there. Make a point there. Hit Ctrl Y again to bring the color back. And we're going to go up to the very end of the top of this part right here. I'm going to click and drag and do the same thing where we leave a little bit of white space in between. Make sure a little sliver is still left there. Deselect it. Hold shift, click on the end of your anchor. And make sure the end of it's parallel with the bottom of your W. And make it about even length with everything else here. Hold left click, drag it up and make a similar curve to like we've been doing. Now deselect. Okay, this looks really good so far. We're going to highlight everything after hitting Ctrl Alt 2. That will unlock our white stroke that we made. I'm going to highlight everything, go to our shape builder tool, and start filling in these shapes of the same color. Oh, make sure your fill is set to whatever color you're trying to fill into. So since this is black, we're going to fill it into black. And we're also going to hold Alt and remove any white we see on the inside. When you're making a logo, you want there to be as little points as possible, but some problem with Illustrator I've seen over the years is that this line here created a bunch of points when we were using the when we're using the shape builder tool, and we can't really get rid of that unless we go to our smooth tool and just lightly go over it a bit, and that'll remove a lot of the extra lines that we've created there, extra points. The less points the better for when you're delivering it to a client. Okay, our logo seems to be pretty done here. We're going to highlight it, hit Control-Shift-G to ungroup, so we have our point separator here. If you notice, we left a little bit of shape in there. We're going to highlight that real quick. Go to Shape Builder, and remove that. Okay, everything should be in order now, no more little shapes. And we can change the colors of these two halves to make something very dynamic and nice looking for your company. I'm going to make that blue, and we're going to make this a nice dark green. And there you have it. Leave a like and subscribe if you learned something. Thank you.